Hey y'all, my name's Seth Packan, and this is Podunk Perspective, a podcast based on the Podunk Perspective. Podunk Perspective, we are back with my man, Austin G.
What is going on?
How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming. So, how's your day going?
It's been good, man. It's been good. I'm trying to think what I did. I wrote a song earlier.
Okay.
Now I'm here. Yeah.
Nice. How many songs do you usually write a week, or writes?
I try to keep it to 3, but sometimes they'll do 4 or 5, and that's when my brain just gets fried. I'm not that kind of writer. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love writing, but 3's probably my max.
Yeah.
Like, I need something to write about. You know what I mean?
For sure. So, where are you from, and how'd you get into music?
So I'm from Kentucky originally.
Okay.
From Hopkinsville. It's like an hour and a half north of here. I grew up coming here. Like, my parents used to take me to Opry Mills every tax-free weekend to get a new set of clothes, for school. But I moved down here officially in October of 2017, I believe. And I came here so I went to college at Murray State University and got a job in Knoxville after that, working like safety. And I just decided to, if I'm going to move here, I need to move here. And crazy thing is, my boss, back when I was interning up in Cincinnati at Pepsi, he was the regional manager by the time I graduated, and I was in Knoxville, and he just randomly called me. He's like, "Hey, dude, I remember you said you wanted to come to Nashville. I got a job for you if you want it." I'm like, "Sign me up." So I quit my other job and then moved down the next week.
Damn. So how was it like working for Pepsi?
It was cool. I got a lot of free drinks, that's for sure. A lot of expired drinks, I'll say that. It was cool. I was in like the bottling facility in Knoxville. Fun fact, the place I worked at was the originator of Mountain Dew.
Damn.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
And the family is still working there to this day. Like, it's a family business.
Is it true that Mountain Dew was like originally made for like moonshine?
1,000%. Yeah, it's written on the wall in the factory.
That's so cool.
The story. So, yeah, I thought that the entire time growing up too, and then to actually see it and hear about it, I'm like, man, this is some dope stuff right here.
No, that's badass. So, what was growing up in Kentucky like?
I mean, I grew up in the middle of nowhere. My town's actually called Pembroke. The city is Hopkinsville, so it's about 30 minutes away. And I didn't have any neighbors growing up.
Yeah.
I lived in a trailer for about 5 years in between, so there wasn't much to do. I did a lot of 4-wheeler riding, dirt bikes, and I was really big into baseball. So that's what got me out the mud.
What position?
I was a catcher. You can't tell by looking at me, but I promise I was decent.
Were you trying to go play college ball and everything?
I was trying to go to the league. When I went to Murray, I didn't get a scholarship to go, but I walked on to the team.
Yeah.
So I was like the second string bullpen catcher, and I was just tired of waking up at 4:30 in the morning for nothing. I knew, looking at the starter at that point, I was like, man, yeah, he looks like a catcher. I look like a dude walking through campus. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, that was the goal. But I quickly realized once I got there, it's probably not as attainable as I thought.
I mean, were you doing music, going through school and everything?
No. So I grew up doing church choir, and I was the theater kid growing up. Yeah. So I did Oliver and the Lion King. I was Aladdin. Look at me. I did that, and then my senior year, I thought it was pretty kind of stupid to do that. I was trying to get girls, you know what I mean? And theater's not the place to get them. So I stuck with baseball. But my summer between my senior year of high school and freshman year of college, I worked at a lawnmower shop selling lawnmowers, Bad Boy Mowers.
Yes, sir.
And the guy that owned that place sponsors this event every Christmas time. There's a songwriter from Hoptown called Bryce Long, and he puts this on every year. And that was my first time seeing a writer's round. He brought his friends, Tony Arata, he wrote The Dance, Dylan Altman, Barefoot Blue Jean Night, David Lee, some Tim McGraw stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But the guy that owned the lawnmower shop asked Bryce if I could play my original song. I've written one song to this point, and it was to ask my girlfriend out in senior year of high school. I learned the song, the chords of One Time by Justin Bieber. I wrote my song over it, and I was like, I just want to spend my life with you. She said yes. I did the whole typical country thing. I took her out to the parking lot of school. I sat on my tailgate, and I played her the song. and she awkwardly said yes, and then 2 weeks later dumped me. But I guess the song wasn't that good. But I played that song at the benefit that Bryce put on. So after that experience, I was like, man, I think I want to be a songwriter. Right. And I was like, Green asked him after the show, I was like, hey man, like, do you think I can come sit in on a write with you? Right. He goes, man, buddy, that's not really how it works, but just keep writing. Yeah. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. And looking back, that was probably the best thing he could have told me. Right. But I didn't really do music until sophomore year of college at Murray State University. I was in a fraternity, and every year there's a sorority philanthropy event put on called Mr. MSU, which is basically a male talent show, beauty pageant type thing. And so I was back there, and there's a talent portion, and it was during rehearsal. I was practicing my one song that I wrote, and this guy walks back there with me. He was a Sigma Chi, I was a Pike. His name was Brooks Hoffman, and he was like, you write songs? I'm like, yeah, dude, I write songs. Look at it. He's like, man, we should write sometime. I'm like, okay, cool. And then the typical Nashville thing happens, and you don't write for 6 months. And we just happened to be at a toga party that year, and we met each other like at the bottom of the staircase. He's like, I had an internship in Louisville doing safety, and that's his hometown. He's like, man, come over to the house and let's write. So I'm like, all right, cool. Literally first day I got there, he hit me up. I went over. I wrote a song and did a cover of some Chris Young song, and we ended up writing an EP that summer and recorded it in his bathroom on GarageBand and put it out on SoundCloud. And then this guy from Nashville hit us up about 2 months into it, and he says, hey, I love your stuff. I found you on SoundCloud. If you ever want to make like a legit Nashville record, I can help you. And we're like, let's go. Let's do it. Sick. So we came to Nashville, recorded 5 songs in one day. Like, it was crazy, but we thought that was the way you recorded songs back then. This was 2015, I believe. And, we put that out that summer and then started, like, gaining traction in Western Kentucky. And then we realized, like, man, I think we can actually do this.
This is when you were doing, like, was this like before the duo stuff or like during the
This is how the duo started. Yeah, so we weren't even a duo at the time. We were just writing songs together and doing what we love, and then it turned into the duo because, like I said, we started gaining a little traction in our college town in Western Kentucky. We're like, dude, should we just do this thing? So we tried to come up with a name and all that stuff, and we landed on 641, and that's when we started doing the thing. And funny story, like before we formed, we like wrote songs that summer, and then the next school year I wasn't allowed over at the Sigma Chi house because I wasn't a Sigma Chi, so he had to sneak me in through the back door. And like there's an open mic night every Thursday at this place called Mr. J's. I got it tattooed on my arm. That was like the first place we played, but like we would watch each other play open mic nights and be like, oh, I could do that, or like kind of thing. And it's just funny how it turned out to be a legit thing. But I didn't legit think I could do music until college. But yeah, I'm glad I did.
And then, like, how long did, like, the duo go on? Like, how many songs did you guys put out and stuff?
We put out about 45 songs total. Yeah. From 2015 to, I would say, 2022.
That's great.
Yeah, so we were doing it, man.
Yeah. And then how would, like, the time when you guys kind of, went your own ways, how was that process, and like how did you know like it was time for you to like do your own thing, and like were you okay with it,
So honestly, it all comes down to COVID. We started getting a buzz in like 2018, 2019. We were playing shows with Brantley Gilbert, Luke Combs, Eli Young Band. Like we were touring, and we had a showcase at the basement at on 8th Avenue, and some labels came out, and that was February like 24th or 25th of 2020. And then 2 weeks later, the world shuts down, and like all the labels kind of backed off because they couldn't spend any money because no one knew what was going on. Yeah, so they backed off. We put out another EP after the fact, and didn't get the same amount of traction that we used to. Right. And some like personal stuff in between, just kind of, button up heads and just personalities and stuff like that. And then 2022, we kind of made the decision to part ways because we both still wanted to do music, but we kind of wanted to do it in our own way.
Right.
We were kind of musically wanting to go different directions. Absolutely. And so it was amicable at the end of the day. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some tough times, tough conversations.
That's business, and that's also friendship.
Definitely,
too,
definitely. And we started out in college. Like, there's a lot of duos in town that didn't even know each other before they got together. So like, we were legit brothers from the start. And I think that's what separated us, just because of that chemistry. But yeah, ultimately, just musical influences and like musical directions just kind of went different ways. Yeah.
So then it was going into Austin G now, you know.
How
was that project and like how like going into that and starting that,
It's been great. Don't get me wrong, when I first went solo, it was kind of scary just because I'm used to hearing another voice with me, and I felt naked a little bit. But to be able to explore and write my own story, it's been a blast, man. And I got a great team around me now, and I still have the same manager from 641, so we're still trucking. But it's been a cool process trying to find my sound and being able to just say yes or no, on my own kind of thing.
Like, do you have a lot of part and say in like what you put out and the songs you're writing?
Yeah, I feel like I have 95% say in what I put out. My manager trusts me, and I trust him to do his part in pushing the song or getting the opportunities from these songs. And then my publisher, Lindsay, she's one of my biggest supporters.
Shout out Lindsay.
Shout out Lindsay Will. She's always been on my side. Crazy. I met her when she was an intern at another company, and we kind of been friends ever since. And then when the opportunity came for me to, shop around a publishing deal, she hit me up. She's like, "Hey, come have a meeting."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great. Like when I first, kind of got introduced to you guys, and we've all went down to Key West and done that thing. We've all had a pretty good time.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of stories from that.
Yeah, a few too many.
I can't remember half of them, but I'm sure there are some.
No, it's okay. It's something that you don't have to remember, right?
Are you going back next year?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, I think it's kind of like an every year thing.
It has to be.
It's such a good time, even if like you're just going just to listen to people. Just go to listen to people. You know,
or just get blackout drunk every single day.
That too.
That
works.
Or you can do both.
Yeah.
Try singing and getting blackout drunk. That's where it gets interesting.
Right. Well, and the cool part is I feel like it's so allowed because there's more than just one person doing it.
Oh yeah. It feels like you're on vacation with all of your coworkers.
Yeah, it's like everyone's slightly turned off or like halfway turned off.
But it's also cool is like you wouldn't do that in Nashville.
Right.
Like
no.
But to be in another spot, there's nowhere else to go but right here in this bar.
Right.
And we're all sunburnt and drunk. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun.
It's a good time. So you put out a album, right? In January.
I did. Yep.
Yeah, that was your first album off the Austin G, right? So kind of tell us about that. How many songs are on it, and kind of the theme of the album.
Yeah, so there were 7 songs total. There was about 4 of them that I kind of brought from the 641 catalog over, and then there's 3 of them that I wrote post 641. But it was kind of like my Here I Am party kind of thing. I titled it Running My Mouth because I was a solo artist now, and this was my opportunity to tell my story. So I thought it was a pretty clever way to come out kind of thing. And one of my best friends, Mason Thornley, wrote probably 6 of the 7 songs with me, and Matt Giroux, he produced that for me, and he was my producer since I moved to town. So it was fun to like get in the studio with those 2 guys and really make that project come to life. It was great. What's
the process when you're sitting in with these writers, and like do you have a main set group of writers that you write with a lot?
Yeah, I feel like I do. I mean, there's always opportunities to write with other people and see if we mesh that way too. But I've been here for about 8 years now, and I kind of know who I gel with and who I don't. So I like to keep there's probably five or six guys that I like to keep in my back pocket and be like, hey, I need this type of song. Can you write it with me? Kind of thing. But you know, here recently, I've run into a lot of great writers too that I would have never thought I'd have the chance to do it with, and yeah, it's been fun. But I think going back to your question, there's definitely a core set of guys that I like to write my best stuff with. Sure. Like I just went on retreat this past February with Brandon Day and Ben Stoll. They're over at Round Hill with me, and then Brandon's friend Alex had a spot in Connecticut that we went out and wrote some songs with. But those are probably my two go-to guys. Yeah, no, absolutely. So like, what would you say, you know, your influences are when it comes to your music and like maybe some people you grew up on listening to? So my all-time, this has nothing to do with my music, but my all-time favorite band is Aerosmith. I grew up on Aerosmith. That's awesome. Steven Tyler's my hero kind of thing. But when I started growing older and getting into country music from my dad, Rascal Flatts really stuck out to me. I had every record of theirs. So good. Oh my God. I mean, I wanted to sound like Gary LaVox. Right. And so I had every record of theirs. And then before I moved to Nashville, Florida Georgia Line dropped Cruise and that whole record. And I'm like, oh God, like, because I grew up on hip hop too, like Lil Wayne and all that stuff, and like hearing them do what they did, I'm like, oh, if country can sound like this, right, I could do that kind of thing. And they were my first country concert I ever saw in Murray. They came to the CFSB Center, the basketball arena, and played, you know, their whole record. I'm like, wow, if this is country music, I want to be a part of it. So that's what got me to come to Nashville. And then as of the past 5 years, I've really leaned into Machine Gun Kelly. I got one of his lyrics tattooed on my arm right here. I like how he isn't afraid to do whatever he wants, and like whatever he wants to put out, he'll do. And I really resonate with that. So I like to be influenced by his guitar tones and like his writing style, I guess, mixed with like FGL, and a little bit of Sam Hunt rappiness kind of thing. So cool. Yeah, that's sweet. So if you had a choice to pick anyone out there to put out a song with, who would that person be? If I'm trying to get it to go to radio, Tyler Hubbard, 100%. Like I said, FGL is one of my biggest influences, but I would love to put a song out with Machine Gun Kelly. I think I have a few in my back pocket that I've tried sending his way. I hadn't made it all the way there yet, but I got some that he would crush. I've definitely seen him try to dabble a little bit in the country. With, you know, I mean, some of the Dixie Chicks or the Chicks cover. You know, he did. No, that's really cool. So you got more music coming out this year? I do. I'm in the studio right now. I got 2 in the can, ready to go. So they'll be out. I mean, I don't have a set date for it yet, but they're done and they're just waiting to go. I'm working with Cam Becker right now, which I've really looked up to his stuff over the years. He worked with Knox, so I love his sound. So I got in with him, and he's really caught the vibe of the. I like to describe my music as like the band Camino meets Keith Urban kind of thing. Yeah. And he nailed that first time, and we've been rocking ever since. Yeah, yes, sir. So would you say like moving to Nashville kind of solidified like your understanding of like what being a true artist is? Oh, 100%. 100%. Like when we were in Murray, like we thought we were the big stuff on the block. You know what I mean? Yeah. Getting to Nashville, they're on every street corner. And we learned real quick that like, man, you gotta work harder. You gotta be consistent, and just watching and even being on the road with some of these artists over the years, it's really opened my eyes to like the end goal of like what it could look like and how to get there. Yeah. So, but I would have never known that if I would have never moved here. Right. And then obviously after moving here, well, you just went out on tour. So you kind of got to leave here and go to all these different cities. Yeah. How was that experience, you know, and, you know, engaging with fan bases out in those different cities? It's my favorite part about this whole thing. Yeah. I love writing songs, but I love to travel and seeing faces and seeing it connect with the crowd. And I went on the West Coast late June, early July. With Lakeview. Yeah. And we started in Portland, Oregon, worked our way down to Las Vegas. And it was crazy. And this was my first time going on tour as a solo artist, so I didn't know what to expect. And from the first show. I mean, there was people following like from show to show. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, all right, we're back, baby.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And like I said, it's my favorite part. So if I could just be consistent with that and stay on the road, I'd be in heaven.
Yeah, it's got to be really rewarding. Like, obviously, when people are buying your merch and stuff like that, but then when you see and hear people singing your songs back to
Oh my
you,
God.
know, when you're up there, and
Yeah.
you're how many miles away from home or where you live, or
Yeah.
it's crazy.
We were in San Diego, and a guy comes up to the merch table after. He's like, man, I love your set. I've been listening to you for 4 years now. I'm like, 4 years? It's like, yeah, I loved like all these songs from 641. I'm like, wow, so you came out because of that? He's like, yeah, dude, like I wanted to see what you were doing, And it was really cool to see fans stick with me through the years, Yeah.
So how was touring with the Lakeview guys?
It was rowdy. It was rowdy for sure. I wouldn't say it got like too wild. It was mainly my group of guys got the most wild. I feel like they're seasoned vets at this point. They're touring every weekend. I think they just played the biggest rock festival in Germany as a country act, which is crazy. But then there's us, never been out there before as a solo act, and we're just living it up. And we had a lot of late nights, had a lot of in and out. We kind of had that catered to the room.
A lot of burgers.
A lot of burgers. A lot of whiskey. A lot of whiskey.
Were you doing like full band, or were you just bringing maybe like a guitar player out, or what was the?
It was full band.
Sweet. Mm-hmm. So, when do you like playing full band better than just like doing your acoustic stuff?
Hands down. Yeah. Hands down. With the kind of music I make, I feel like it translates more live. Right. So like writers rounds, I like them, but they're not my favorite. If I could have a band behind me, that's where.
Well, I've been lucky enough to see you do both, and I say like you definitely like to move around on stage. So that's good.
Probably a little too much.
You're an entertainer.
Trying to work it down. You
that's a good thing.
Be intentional.
Good. So, what's one of your favorite gigs that you've played since being in town and playing music?
So, probably my favorite gig was the first arena I played. It was back in 2018, opening for Brantley Gilbert. Yep. And this was like the end of the pop country era, I guess you could say. But I didn't know that. I still had the skinny jeans on and the high tops, tight shirt, all spiked hair, all that stuff. Yeah. And I remember going up right before like the intro music starts playing, and you hear a guy in the front row, like a biker guy, goes, "It's a fucking boy band." And like we'd run on stage and we do our set, and like he ends up coming to the merch table after to say sorry, kind of thing, because we made a point to notice that. But that was probably my favorite, just because like I've never played on a stage like that before, and that was cool. And then second to that was we were opening for Walker Hayes at a state fair, and there was 20,000 people there. I'm like, I've never seen a sea of people like this. Crazy. It was like his prime fancy like moment, and that was probably the hands down the biggest show for sure.
That's cool. And then you said you played a few shows open up for Brantley in the past and stuff. How was that experience? Because he's definitely a veteran now. He's done it. He's played with everyone.
Yeah. I would like to consider him as like my music like uncle kind of thing. Like he's very wise. Like he says, he's been doing it for over 10 years now. And I remember that show I just told you about, the arena. We went on his tour bus after, because my manager is also his manager too. So it's kind of worked out that way. We're on the bus, and he was just telling me a lot of words of advice. Like we all had a drink in our hand, and he was smoking his pen, and he's like, "Man, if I can tell y'all one thing right now, stick with this. This won't get you in trouble." I'm like, noted. I haven't learned that yet, but he told us that, and just he's always been there as like a bouncing life off of. Right. I probably played with him probably 5 times total. Yeah. So it's been fun. So
what's been the most, or like I'd say the best experience you've had since coming to town and like learning hey, like this is who I am, but also like, oh, maybe this was tough to figure out, but I'm here now. Like
I think it's just to be comfortable in my own skin. There's so many people in this town doing the same thing I'm doing, and it's hard to not compare yourself to people. And I'm still working on it, but I think that's the hardest thing. It's just like being true to yourself and being comfortable in your own skin and going outside the box, even though it might be criticized, for the moment. Right. Times change, and the not cool stuff becomes cool, and vice versa. So I think that's probably the best thing I've learned, and like just getting a tight knit group of friends.
Yeah. Being a good hang.
I mean, that's 90% of everything. If you can hang, you'll be invited back.
Absolutely, that's so true. Well, hey, you brought your guitar. I think we might get into some music.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Okay, my man, we're gonna get to some music here.
Let's do it.
What's this first song you got for us?
This first one is one of the ones I got coming out here soon. It's called The Bridges.
Let's hear it.
Yep. Even if the cops showed up, there wouldn't be a trace of you. Not a hoodie or hair tie toothbrush, I got rid of all the proof. Lit my last lucky strike, smoking up the living room. You always hated when I did it, but what the hell, I got nothing left to lose. Since you packed up and left the ashes, I've been on a chain reaction. Whiskey straight to striking matches, but some things just don't catch fire. I burn up pictures, they went up in a minute. And I've been burning down this town since the night we were finished. Burning rubber on my tires to leave it all behind, but my head and heart still spinning. Cause damn, the only thing I can seem to burn are the bridges. Now if I could, I would set fire to the memories. But that feeling don't fade, it just gets harder with gasoline. And I've been holding my position, trying to keep it arsonistic. But if you picked up your phone and called right now, how could I miss it? Cause I burn our pictures, they went up in a minute. And I've been burning down this town since the night we were finished. Burning rubber on my tires to leave it all behind, but my head and heart still spinning. Cause damn, the only thing I can seem to burn all the bridges. I can't let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. Yeah, I can't let it burn, let it burn. I can't send it all up in flames, but baby, I can't burn down memory lane. Yeah, I can't send it all up in flames, but baby, I can't burn down memory lane. Yeah, I burn our pictures, they went up in a minute. And I've been burning down this town since the night we were finished. Burning rubber on my tires to leave it all behind, but my head and heart still spinning. Cause damn, the only thing I can seem to burn are the bridges. I can't let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. Yeah, I can't let it burn, let it burn.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah.
That's a banger right there.
Appreciate that.
That's a good one. Who did you write that one with?
I wrote that with Elise Yulo, Chandler Eggleston, and Spencer Jordan. That was my first time ever writing with all three of them.
Nice.
And this came out of it.
Did you write it recently, or was it like...
It was about 6 months ago.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and ever since then, I've been trying to stick with them, as much as I can.
That's awesome. So what's this next one you got for us?
Well, this one is already out. This is one of my personal favorites. It's my personal favorite. I wrote this with Brooks Hoffman, Gary Garris, and Mason Thornley. Sometimes in a room you don't know what to write. You just get there and you're like, man, I want to write something but don't know what. This is kind of one of those songs. It's called Leave Like That.
Sweet.
Didn't we both say that we were gonna be the ones to make it work? Hitting, hopping in and backing out just only gonna make things worse. Didn't we just paint the town, cruise around all last week? Didn't I just put the money down for a trip to PCB? Hold up, girl, you left your t-shirt hanging in the closet. Ain't you gonna want it back? Looks like you forgot your makeup sitting on the counter, along with all the plans we had. You're walking out the door, and I'm like, this can't be it. How you gonna look so fine in them Levi's and just leave like that? Look, aren't we gonna talk about it? Maybe change your mind with one more kiss. Leave your car and park and put your bags back inside before you get too far gone. Throw this all away. But if you're gonna hit the road, at least come get the rest of your things. Hold up, girl, you left your t-shirt hanging in the closet. Ain't you gonna want it back? Looks like you forgot your makeup sitting on the counter, along with all the plans we had. You're walking out the door, and I'm like, this can't be it. How you gonna look so fine in them Levi's and just leave like that? Didn't we just paint the town, cruise around all last week? I got one last thing to say before you make me a memory. Hold up, girl, you left your t-shirt hanging in the closet. Ain't you gonna want it back? Looks like you forgot your makeup sitting on the counter, along with all the plans we had. You're walking out the door, and I'm like, this can't be it. How you gonna look so fine in them Levi's and just leave like that? Just leave like that. Just leave like that.
My man.
Just like that.
That is one of my favorite Austin G songs.
I remember in Key West, you were like screaming every word.
Bro, that's such a good song. Seriously. What's this next one you got for us?
Once I tune this thing up. This one, I wrote this about my girlfriend. This is like the first song I ever wrote for her. She came up to me one day. She's like, you write all these great songs, but you don't have one about me. I'm like, I should probably fix that. I like to say this at my shows. Like, there's a lot of guys. I'm like, show of hands, all the guys in the crowd. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of y'all are like me. You only have a certain amount of words to use up in a day. And by the time you get home to your girl, they're usually all used up. So I wrote this song to tell my girl that even when I'm not with her, my heart runs its mouth. So it's called Run My Mouth. And it's the title track to the EP that dropped in January.
Let's do it.
I usually ain't the loudest in the room. Small conversation never was my strong suit. Nothing to get off my chest, I keep it close to the vest. But the game changed when your lips met mine. Now I don't know what's gotten into me. How to get on my sleeve. My heart keeps running my mouth. You're the only thing you want to talk about. Since I picked you up, I can't put you down. Girl, since you came around, 3 words keep falling out. Yeah, my heart keeps running my mouth. Could be my mama or someone that I just met. You're on the tip of my tongue, I can't help it. I love the future that I find when I look in your eyes. That's why my heart keeps running my mouth. You're to talk about. Since I picked you up, I can't put you down. Girl, since you came around, 3 words keep falling out. Yeah, my heart keeps running my mouth. Yeah, keeps running my mouth. Don't get me started on what's on my mind. It's the same answer every time, 'cause my heart keeps running my mouth. You're the only thing it wants to talk about. Since I picked you up, I can't put you down. Girl, since you came around, 3 words keep falling out. Yeah, my heart keeps running my mouth. You're the only thing it wants to talk about. Since I picked you up, I can't put you down. Girl, since you came around, 3 words keep falling out. Yeah, my heart keeps running my mouth. Yeah, keeps running my mouth.
Nailed it, bro.
I'll shut up now.
That's good, dude.
Appreciate
Good stuff.
it. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. So you got some new songs coming out. Do you have any dates on those? Can we say any of those?
I don't
yet?
have any confirmed dates yet, but
Sounds good.
it'll be soon. It'll be very soon.
Yeah. So go check you out on Apple, Spotify, you
Yes,
name
sir.
it.
Yes,
go
sir.
your content on TikTok, Instagram. What's your at?
I'm trying. It's at Austin G. Or it's at It's Awesome Music. Yeah,
Awesome.
at It's Awesome Music.
Good stuff, my man.
So-
Well, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Cheers.
Cheers.